What's up, Keldon? Good to see you. Yeah, I've been kind of dabbling in video game stuff, so I'm not a freaking deer in headlights when I'm trying to play with people at VGM Con. That's the story there. And here, what is going? Why is that on camera? That's not usually on camera. What's going on? That's what we want. Okay, so I messed around with my sound settings, so please let me know if it sounds weird or if it's like super quiet or whatever. Yeah, so VGM Con is local to me. It's like 30 minutes away. It's way out in one of the suburbs. And so Joe is coming to me for VGM Con, is what's happening. So that's the deal. So I went last year, and it was fun. And I played music with a lot of people, and that was really good for me. And it was also fun. So I'm doing it again. We're doing it again. It's nice because it's like a really small con. Like really, really small. Like, it's kind of funny because, what's up, Chris? Here, let me open this. Got some sparkling water here. I don't know what flavor. Black raspberry. But yeah, it's VGM Con's really small. It's like, if I had to guess, I would say no more than 1,000 attendees. And like, I go to Dragon Con, and I've been going to Dragon Con since 2011. And the first year I went, it was like 30,000 people, and now it's like 80,000. So there's like the teeny tiny little local con, and then I've got the crazy big one. So it's yes. They are different. They are very different. But strangely, my approach to them is kind of the same. I don't like to, like for Dragon Con, because it's across 5 hotels and a convention center, and like there's a lot of spaces in downtown Atlanta, because that's a lot of people, and you gotta spread them out. And so they have an app, and you can like put all your, you can like favorite stuff in the schedule, and things. And I usually like load up my schedule, but I think of it as I'm not tied down to this schedule, because there's like 4 things. There's often like 4 or 5 things in any 1 hour time slot that looks interesting to me. So it just kind of just gotta like play it by ear and see. Like sometimes you have to, like, because it's so big too, like sometimes you can't get from location A to location B in time to get in line for the thing that you want to go to. And so you have to be a little bit careful about that. Like if there's a few things that you want, maybe just pick a few things that are like things you really want to do, but then be really open to just not doing them and doing something else, or like deciding that you're going to just go hang out with your friends, or you need to decompress and like have quiet time in your room or whatever, like, and leave it open. So anyway, for VGM Con, last year, so I'm kind of a VGM poser, honestly, because it's not that I'm not hardcore into VGM stuff. So, like, I enjoy what I've heard. I'm getting to learn the repertoire, because even though I played, oh, what's up, Umfet? Good to see you. Yeah, like, I enjoy it, but I'm like just going to hang out with people. Like last year I thought about going 2 years ago, and because there were people that I knew that were going to be there. And then I ended up not. often conflicts with record store day, so for me that's a problem. And I thought it was going to be. It was a huge problem last year. It's not a problem this year because I don't need to go to the record store on record store day. But just like going and like being on site and just like going to just hang out with people and play music with other people. And then I did end up going to some songwriting, not songwriting, but composition panels, which were great. I saw live music, and I got to meet some people in person for the first time, and hang out with some people and play music. So that's what we're gonna do again this year. Except this year, I slept in my own bed, and as I mentioned, it's a half an hour to get from my bed to the con site, and that was a lot. That was a lot because I was up playing music with people until like 3:30 in the morning, and then I had to go home, and then I had to go to sleep, and then I had to get up and then drive another half an hour to get back there. So I'm not doing that this year. What's up, Cathedora? Good to see you, Tesno. Omphet says, Tesno says, I'm actually a dragon myself. Seems about right. Yeah, dragon. I'm cool with dragons. I got a dragon right here. I got a dragon right here. It's a Dragon Con dragon. It was one of their merch items one year. I think I bought my friend one of them too. Wait, how did I have you sitting here before? Like that maybe? Yeah. Cathedora says, hey, everyone, working on some photos, so only kind of here. Cool. All right. I should like maybe play some music or something. Oh, here, let's so I wasn't gonna stream today to Twitch, and then I decided I was going to because there's an Amazon boycott happening right now, and so I thought long and hard about whether, and it's Amazon and subsidiaries, so I thought long and hard about whether I was going to stream to Twitch and YouTube or just YouTube tonight, and so I decided I was just going to talk about it and use my little platform for, I'm not going to talk about it too much, but just like, I really thought long and hard about how do I want to encourage people to spend money in my little corner of the world. So I would ask, if you do want to support tonight, I would prefer that you donate to the EFF rather than subs or gift subs or whatever. But I appreciate you. So it's there's a lot. I mean, as you might be aware, there is some discontent right now, specifically around the tech oligarchs. So people like Jeff Bezos. But this is specifically around rolling back diversity, inclusion, and diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, but also a general malaise of about the tech oligarchs and the corporations. So I think it's a good opportunity to just raise awareness for you thinking about how you want to spend your money. And how that your $5 or your whatever you buy, and thinking about like, well, maybe you can keep it more local. Maybe like I kind of weaned myself off of Amazon. Like I only buy things from Amazon maybe a couple of times a year. And I live in a big city, right, too. So that's a thing. And I where I do have local options, or I have other options, like Best Buy is headquartered here, for example, and maybe they're not, they're another big corporation, but they're different. So just kind of thinking about how I spend my money, and what are some alternatives to some of the places where you shop. And I'm definitely going to start looking at even further spending locally and what that looks like for me. So that's kind of why kind of the approach that I decided to take with things. So that's kind of the thing. So I'm sharing how I feel about things, and it might be something for you to consider. But I will leave it there as something that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about how to be a responsible citizen, basically, and use the little leverage that I have in terms of my wallet to think about how that affects other things. So anyway, so we're here and we're doing the thing. What's up, Scar? Nice to see you. The fiery mod? The fiery mod? Am I the fiery mod, or are you talking about Cathedora? Tesno says, wish there were better options. Yeah, and in especially in places where, like if you're not in a major city, a lot of times there's not better options, and we are where we are. So Cathedora says, spending locally goes so far. Spending at insert giant corp here goes as far as that CEO's pocket. That is true. That is true. So it's kind of it could be kind of fun to learn about some of your local businesses that maybe inertia or habit you didn't necessarily know about them, but like in one of the discords I'm in. What's up, Argyle? So the Twin Cities Geeks is a really, really nice community about kind of all things nerdy and geeky. And they just started a forum where you can where people can promote local businesses basically and talk about them. And so that's super cool, and that's like a way to learn about what's in my community. So anyway, let's get warmed up here. Is there robotics and mechatronics there too? You built a robot. I don't, I'm not familiar with that, but there's, let me see it here. I think it's, I have to remember if it's singular or plural. That's the Twin Cities Geek website. They do a lot of blogging as well. So if you're not local to this area, you might still enjoy some of their articles on the website and things like that. And if you are local, it's a great resource. Like my punny dialect, I invented garlic. I invented called garlic. Oh, that's cool. What's up, TMK? Let's see here. Let's do... I don't want to do trills right away. Let's just do some long, slow notes first. We'll just do this for a couple minutes. Tesno says, is Twin Cities some term of common knowledge? Yes, so the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul in Minnesota, because they're roughly very close in size population-wise, and they're literally right next to each other, except the Mississippi River divides them in some places, but not all places. It's International Women Night here. Nice, nice. It is still, is that today? It's the 8th. It's still We got a few more hours. Okay, what were we gonna do? We were gonna do stuff. Let's just get right into the trill exercise. Argyle says, I wanted to start a geek social networking and dating website called Geekseek. Soul Geek closed down. That sounds cool. I mean, I like the name, Geekseek. That works. Let's see, what position do I? Chat, pick a number, an integer. Well, actually, no, just pick an integer between 1 and 4, and that's what we will do here. An integer, please. First, fastest typer in the chat, will win. 4. Okay, we're gonna do fourth position. And then we're gonna do these at okay, these are trill exercises, by the way. This is hard, this slow with one bow. Turn this up a little bit. I cannot hear the metronome. By the way, if the sound is weird, let me know because I changed some stuff. I had a bit of a disaster trying to use Zoom on Monday. And then I changed a bunch of stuff when I was trying to troubleshoot. I know this song very dark. Yes, here. I made a command, finally. That's what we're doing. If you want to follow along in the music. This is section 1. This is page, what page are you? I don't know, I can't see page numbers. Turn this on. I got my pedal. Makes me feel fancy to use my pedal, but I need to practice. All right, everybody. Pick a number, an integer, 1 through 15. We'll do that. 1 through 15. And I'm going to adjust this a little bit. We're going to do that. Wait, we want it this way. 15 it is. All right. It's actually 25. Let's do the whole row, actually. We'll do 22, 23, 24, and 25. Maybe. Let's see here. 2. Just adjusting my tracking here. 76. All right. Okay, so this is, it starts as an extension and then it goes back to normal position. I think I can do this with one bow, maybe. Let's see here. I think I'm going to do just one string at a time. So I'm going to go through all 4 exercises on this line on one string, and then we'll go on the next string. So the next one is, this one is extended as well, but instead of a higher 4, it's a reach back on the 1. Okay, and then the next one we've got, what do we have here? It's a little weird because this has got a C flat written in, and the last one did too, so it kind of messes with my brain. Usually C flat is just written as B, but there's specific reasons why you might write a C flat. Okay, so this is in half position, that's why. It goes, let me turn this off a second. Okay, so it goes from half position to extended first position. That's what we're dealing with. I'm going to do this without the metronome. I'm not as familiar with these exercises as I am with some of the other ones. TMK says, I found out there are not many that use instrumental as tag on Twitch in music. It's difficult to find any in music with all the DJ streams there is. Well, the DJs shouldn't be in music. They should be in DJs. But there are people for reasons that you might find in music and DJs. Don't out them. See if we can do that with more bow. More slurs. Okay, and then the next one is, says 1, 3, 4. So that's half position. Then we have regular extended first position. So we go, and then we go regular 1. C double sharp, which is, wait. Okay, so we go, ooh, this is a doozy. This one is a doozy. Yeah, DJs have their own category. It's a whole thing. There's a DJ program now, and there's been the record labels, and by record labels I mean like the major labels with the suits, the people in the Recording Industry Association of America, among others, and they want their cut, which I mean I get. They want their cut, and so Twitch made a deal with them. And Twitch had very little to no negotiating power, quite honestly. Is my take. So the DJs are supposed to join the DJ program, and then there is a DJ category as part of the DJ program that you can stream to have the DJs all in one. So I've been looking at some of the Twitch stats. And it basically cut the viewership for that, when everybody was in music together, versus after everybody started joining the DJ program and streaming to the DJ started streaming to the DJ category, it split the viewership in half. So I thought that was interesting, but it makes sense. What's up, Dr. Han? I am a DJ, and not an IRL DJ, really. I mean, I am a DJ, but I don't DJ in clubs. They had a party where they got the DJ badge. They got the DJ badge at a big cost because the DJs and Twitch are sharing licensing costs. So it wasn't that they got a big party. The party was sort of throwing the DJs a bone because Twitch is taking some of their revenue to pay licensing costs. So that's how that works. So Twitch is paying some of the licensing, but the individual DJs are also paying into that licensing pool that then gets distributed among the rights holders, which usually means the people in business suits. So that's a whole thing. That is a whole thing, and that's kind of why I'm not. Aside from the fact that I don't have time to DJ right now, any of my DJ sets will in the future going forward will be on Mixcloud for an assortment of reasons. Yeah, and that was the thing. I don't want to get into it too far, Dr. Han, but I would have to create a second account and then just stream to that account for DJing, and I didn't know how much was going to cost me because they can't. The terms of the contract say that Twitch can't disclose that. Like, you have to look in your dashboard to see how much it's going to cost you. And so I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna. I'm already paying for Mixcloud. I've been paying for Mixcloud for years. So if I spin up a DJ set, it'll be on Mixcloud. So ! Mixcloud in the chat if you want to see where my stuff is. But like I said, I haven't had time to haven't really had time to do much DJing. TMK says, okay, I do not know what license they have, but they have to have a broadcasting license to stream on the internet. So Twitch worked something out with a bunch of the record labels. So that's the license. There's a licensing agreement in place for the DJs in the DJ program. Welcome in, Coincidence Machine. I love that name. We're practicing cello here. I'm just getting warmed up. I've been yakking a whole bunch tonight. I'm doing some new warm-up exercises that I haven't done before, so I'm learning them. But yeah, I practice cello here most of the time. Sometimes I try and learn how to produce music in Ableton, but mostly I just practice cello. I'll be practicing guitar a little bit later. And everybody go give Coincidence Machine a follow. What were you up to tonight? Let me see here what this is. Jazzish jam. That sounds fun. So this exercise that I'm doing right here is a bunch of different finger patterns. They're called finger twisters. So yeah, you finger twisters like tongue twisters, same idea. Wait. We were going from half position. Okay, so that's how that one goes. So let's see. Let's go through the other strings here. So this one is is in extended first position, and then we go to regular first position. And then we go, this next one is in regular first position. Let's try this to two separate bows here. If I'm a music nerd, should come to Music Theory Hour. Oh, when does Music Theory Hour happen? Please tell me more. I gave you a follow. But yes, I am interested. Let's see here. We're doing this one. You know what? I think I'm going to do, actually. So I'm learning, there's 4 exercises on this line, and they're all kind of new to me. I think I'm just going to do each one and go down the strings, rather like do each exercise on each string and then go to the next one, because this is way slower the way that I'm doing it. I think once I learn them, it will be faster to just rip through the whole line, one string at a time. But I think this will be better. So let's do 23. Oh, and if anybody wants to follow along with the sheet music, that is what I'm working on. I just posted in the chat. It's Daily Exercises for Cello by Louis R. Feuillard. And that's a public domain copy that I have linked in the chat, which is the same copy that I'm looking at. So then we go to this one. What's up, Alpha? This is the exercise Trip uses to hypnotize her viewers. Something like that. Are you getting sleepy? Is anybody getting sleepy? Okay, so we want to do this one. Next string, the G string. Ha ha ha, funny, G strings are funny. Let's see. Coincidence Machine says, Music Theory Hour just finished for the last 2 hours of where we just came from. Nice. Oh, wait, that was Lusty Bard. I mean, it sounds like a good time to me. There's always more to learn with music theory, and people do things differently and say things in different ways. There was, I don't know if anybody follows David Bennett Piano on YouTube, but I'd been, I learned, the modes of the major and the pentatonic scales when I was taking guitar lessons back when I was in high school, and for the purposes of improvisation, and just the way that David Bennett put that, there's a video about the brightness and darkness of the modes, and it just connected in my brain in a way differently than it had before that, in all of the years before that. So it's like sometimes somebody needs to explain something in a different way for it to click, or to draw different associations. It's cool. Coincidence Machine says, I'll whisper you, and if you want to be a guest, I'd love to have you. Oh, yeah, I am interested in learning more, for sure. Oh my goodness, cello friend, Manos Cello. Good to see you. Let's see, talk to Kat Listokai about Locrian mode. Locrian, yeah! We're just getting warmed up here. What's up? Good to see you, Manos Cello. I hope you had an amazing stream. Everybody, make sure you go follow Manos Cello. He is a professional cellist out of Athens, Greece. He plays a pretty sweet Yamaha electric cello. He knows, he can do classical, he can do electronic, he can do pop music and pop standards, and he can do all of the things. So make sure you give him a follow. And it's probably what time is it in Greece? It's 2 a.m. It's kind of early for you, isn't it still? Manos says, all good, but hungry and sleepy. Thank you for bringing your friends over, and I'm just getting warmed up on some pretty nerdy technical stuff, so that's what we're doing. We're doing some Feuillard, if anybody wants to follow along. Okay. I think we were on the G string, yeah? We were on the G string. Okay, and then we have this one. I already did the A string, by the way, in case if you just arrived with one of the raids. This last one is tricky. So we've got this last exercise has a double sharp in it. So that kind of hurts my brain. It hurts my brain, but it makes sense within the context of this exercise. So we got... So we rev half position to extended first position, and then we move up, we shift up a half step. And then we move back to regular first position. There's a lot going on in these 12 notes. Oh, sorry. Yes, there are 12 notes here. There's a lot going on. That's hard. That's hard. I think this might be the first time I'm ever doing this exercise. There's 31 exercises in this little assortment here of finger twisters. So thank you, Omfet. keep forgetting to go into half position here. My fingers should be closer together here. I don't want to burn myself out on these. I probably shouldn't have said I was going to do the whole row. But here we are. Okay, that's enough of that. This song is way better than Wonderwall. Yeah, I'm not really an Oasis fan myself. The lyrics are better, at least. Okay, so this next one is a shifting exercise. So these next set of exercises. So everybody, you get to pick which one I do, and we're not going to do the whole row. We're just going to go through, like, pick a number 1 through 12. An integer number 1 through 12, and that is the one that I will do. And then we will move on to the next one, which will be another shifting exercise. An integer coincidence machine. An integer. Alpha's first. Alpha dropped the first integer. So we're going to do number 8. Let me make it big. Because I can do that. I can do that. It's typing before you said that, sorry. You can pick the next one, coincidence machine, since you rated. Let's see here. And do I want to have this with the metronome? When I'm learning some of these, I don't want the metronome going because sometimes the metronome makes me confused. So this one, we're shifting up. I'm going to get a drone. We're shifting up to an E. Here, let's see. Let me turn this off. That's the note I need to hit. And then, and then it's... Oh no, it is C sharp. It isn't. It's not an extension. Turn this down a little bit. I'm just practicing by myself. I have that kind of loud. So that's number 3. Moving on to number 4, which is first and third positions. Okay, everybody. Coincidence machine. You get to pick the next integer. Pick an integer from 1 to 12, I think, is probably good. There are 29 exercises on this page, but I've only done about half of them. 11. Okay. 11. And here we're shifting up to an A sharp. Really? Wait, no. We're in bass clef. Some of these are in tenor clef and some of them are in bass clef, so I have to like make sure I'm in the right clef. F sharp, not. Okay. I can make it giant on my screen. I just switched to an iPad. Let's do 4. Oh, and by the way, if you see me doing stuff down here, I'm messing with my practice tracking, which I use an app called Mujo, mujo.app. Cello does a lot in tenor clef, which I didn't realize when I started taking lessons. So that's a thing. Okay, so here we're in half position. That's right. Wait a minute. That's correct. So these are supposed to sound like nothing. Okay. So that's number 4. And then this one, number 5. So number 3 is in 3, number 4 is in 4, and number 5 is in 5. Everybody, if you wouldn't mind picking a number 1 through 8, we will work on that one. An integer. 1 through 8. Oh, TMK. Is that caret in there? Did you mean 7 minus 2, or is that caret in, or 7, or is that 7 squared? 7 squared is not between 1 and 8. Alpha, thank you. Don't make me do math, it's the weekend. Please. We have a very clever chat here. Very clever group of people. Okay. 5. We said Alpha said 4. So that one. So is this it? These are in tenor clef. So the thing with cello is, so in bass clef, this D is the top. This G in bass clef is the top space on the staff. In tenor clef, it's just over a string. So to read things, you just move over a string. So like everything's just a string lower in the same position, if that makes sense. It's a little hack, and when my cello teacher told me that, I was like, oh my gosh, head exploded. I was like, really? That's how it is? See, Cathedora says, my friend's 4-year-old casually did multiplication today rather than counting something out, and I was like, is that normal for a 4-year-old? I mean, maybe the 4-year-old likes math. I mean, that's cool. Cheers, 4-year-old child of friend. What's up, Odd Bandicoot? Nice to see you. Okay, so this one. And then we're shifting up. I gotta do the equivalent of musical counting on my fingers, because it's in tenor clef. You are F sharp. F sharp again. I don't even have to move the tone. So here. Okay, so here we're staying extended for this whole thing. That's where we gotta go. I don't need to be stretching that far once I shift. Okay. That's enough of this one. Let's move on from Feuillard. Let's play well, actually one more. We'll do 8. We're gonna do this in C. Usually I ask for a suggestion on key, but I'm learning a new pattern, so I just want to do it in C. What's up, Lau? Oh, that's too high. That's so high. That's better. Okay, so we're gonna do 8. This is also written in tenor clef. So I'm tuning. Yeah, you can't really hear the drone. That's by design, but I can hear the drone. So I'm playing in the key of C, and I have the note C is playing. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to match intonation against that C, against that drone. Lau says, I'm making magnets out of a bunch of stickers. Nice. Managed to not cut myself with the hobby knife so far. Nice. Yeah, don't do that. Safety, always cut away from you. Very important. One of the stickers is a cat playing cello. That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, let's move on to an etude. Not exactly real music, but closer to real music. And that is on, not on my iPad. That is on good old-fashioned paper. And I took the light off my music stand. So we'll try it without. Okay. So this is a double stop etude. Let's do this. We're done with Feuillard. We'll see if I can see this. So I'm working on double stops. So double stop means playing two notes at the same time. And that is a thing. That is a thing. So let's do this. That's what it is. I was making it harder than it needs to be. Let's fix that. There's where the note is. My teacher has me doing that, going below the note and then going above the note to zero in on the actual note. Second finger was a little high there too. Did you write a song for yourself? No. So the intro music that I have before I start actually get on camera is an original composition. But this is Dotzauer. Here, we'll do this. I never get to push that button. That's what this is. That's what this is. This is just etudes are pieces that are written for practice purposes, and they're not necessarily written to be performed. So this one, they're technical exercises, and this one has been kicking my butt. It's hard because double stops are hard. Because you have to play two strings at once, and you have to put your finger in on two strings sometimes, and it has to be in tune, and you have to have the bow even on both strings, and you have to have and then it just takes more strength and gravity. You have to use gravity to push down the strings. work on that again. That was the whole line, actually. Let's start here. So one thing that I'm working on is I don't know if you can see it from this angle. It's kind of hard to see, but my thumb likes to just go on adventures away from the cello. And it doesn't need to be touching the neck of the cello all the time, but like I'm it's too far away. So that's something that I'm working on. This chord is really hard. It's a big stretch. Let's do it again. That was nice. No extension there. It's difficult, right? Yeah. Yes, this is difficult. Well, I mean, it's difficult for me. This isn't like a super in the like Manos cello would have he would play this perfectly. But he's got more training than I do. Okay, so here, this part is fun. So let's just do this part again. Let's practice this shift. That's where it is. This is hard too, to like make sure I have enough bow left for that last note. Oh, and then the last note I'm supposed to, I shift up. So we go. Wait, are you down bow or are you up bow? Ah, it is down bow. Okay, that's enough of this one. That is enough of this one. I guess you could play it. I could play it all the way through. Let's try that. And then we'll move on. Ah. Blah. Ah. Whew. That one is tiring. It's not even very long. It's not even very long, but it is a good workout, that's for sure. That is for sure. Okay, so here, let me take a quick, I'm going to switch my music around because I got to go back to the iPad. Let's play a quick round of drop, shall we? While I do that. All right, Alpha, last call. Unless somebody else wants to try and score higher than I did. Can't win them all, Alpha. Can't win them all. All right. Oh, sorry, Cathedora. My bad. My bad. Check out that beautiful emote that Cathedora used, though. They are the artist. If you the little boba emote is Cathedora's work. So everybody, make sure you're following Cathedora because they're awesome, and they've been doing. They're in the Bedrock Legends Minecraft server, and there's been all sorts of chaos and fun happening with that crowd. And there's some Minecraft that's not part of the Bedrock Legends, and sometimes some photo editing and nice times. So anyway, speaking of bubble tea, I should have supper. Gonna lurk for a bit. Well, have a good supper, Lau, and thanks for hanging out, and we'll catch you later. So let's do here. So I think this is probably the piece that I'm gonna play for my next cello recital in May. And what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna kind of go through. I've been doing this method of practice. The first part I've got kind of down from a note learning perspective and all that kind of thing. And so I'm using it as a vibrato exercise. So what I'm doing is going through the notes and going back into back position, and then throwing my hand forward, and then it should just vibrate, right? Oh, let me start this. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that whole phrase without the vibrato exercise. Do it like normal. Okay, so the next part. So that is a wolf. Let me see here. so that phrase played normally. So let's do from the beginning, those two phrases together. So that's the main melody. And then I want to work on a little bit here. So in this section, there's a particular bowing technique where there's an accent on the second note, the second long note here in these in each of these measures. And the second note is I need to make my bow go fast and then immediately slow it down. So. And it's on it's the same note. We got a harmonic and then a harmonic G and then a G. So everybody's gonna notice if I don't play the second G in tune. See, I'm gonna do it without vibrato. Let's do that again. Ah, my page turn. There's my page turn. So here, this part. That's okay, so there's a harmonic here. We changed stuff, Lau. So I know if you're listening in, we changed some things on this part this week. I've been hitting the A too low. Didn't feel like cooking, so I returned with some tin soup, a Montreal-style bagel, and some cheese. Hey, that sounds like a pretty decent dinner, if I do say so myself. Let's see here. Oh, my nose itches. No. Okay, So let me get an A. That's a big shift. That is a very big shift. Let's see here. Been hitting this F, I think, too high. That's not bad. Not bad. Ugh. So we go from here, we go all the way down here. Wait, no. Where am I? I've been playing this too low as well. This B flat has been too low. Usually you can get away with a pretty nicely flat B flat there, but when it becomes an A, then the B flat is too flat. that passage is very tricky. But I feel like it's coming along. I feel like it's coming along pretty well. So if we do the whole passage. Not bad, not bad. That's coming along. Okay, so this next part here, and the reason why there's that big shift puts me right in position for the next note. And what note are you? Are you a down bow or an up bow? That's the question. Up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow. We're back to bass clef. That last passage was in tenor clef. We're back to bass clef here, and I want to play this on the C string. And what note are you? So yeah. No, not on the C string. Sorry, the G string. What note are you? When I switch back and forth between clefs, sometimes it scrambles my brain, and that is what happened right just now. Okay, so we've got. So that's a C, E, E flat. Thanks for the follow, Green Dog. This is a 3. Could probably. So we go. That F sharp is very nice. Let's worry about that later. So there's 2 sets of triplets, and then there's not triplets. Oh, and then. Thanks for the follow, Dionysus. Let's see here. do something sneaky. And I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to write where that harmonic is so that I can see where it is. That'll wear off, but it'll give me a little bit of a visual cue for what to shoot for. And then in theory, I won't need that by the time it wears off. Oh, I think that's a... Lau, do you play that harmonic there? Or do you play that on the C string or do you play that on the G string? We're going to I'm having some tone problems with the C string, but that's the bow's fault. Well, that's my fault, but it's my right hand's fault. But we decided to try this. And so I should have my thumb on the kind of on the side of the cello here. And then I don't remember if I'm supposed to play that with my first finger or not. I gotta play that closer to the bridge. That's the tone problem. The C string is the C string can get rowdy. That's what I'll say about that. So that's why because we go. Before we go into the hard part, the even harder part, the hardest part of the piece, the fast part. I'm overshooting is what's happening. I'm overshooting and I need to be closer to the bridge with my bow. I'm like way overshooting. But I'm getting that nice. That's pretty in tune. Pretty good. Not perfect, but pretty good. We are in measure 33. Yeah, measure 34. Right before. That part. Yes, the CDC, yes. So I need to work on getting my thumb here on the side of the fingerboard. So I have I'm not sure what we did here because I have two fingerings and I don't remember which one is the harmonic fingering and which one is not the harmonic fingering. You play those on the C string, but full stops, not as a harmonic. Okay. Yeah, my teacher suggested using the harmonic because like kind of as a harmonic but pressing down. Just kind of as a way to find it so that you don't overshoot or whatever or undershoot. So you hit it more in tune. And then he just liked it being on he was going back and forth. He's like, well, sometimes I play it like this and sometimes I play it like that, but he was all into the aggressiveness of the C string. So that's what we're working on. Might change it later, but it's all part of the process. Yeah, I got to get closer to the bridge. I should probably write that down. I think that's how. I think it's a 1-3-1. See the difference in tone here? I'm close to the bridge versus. So if it sounds like crap, that means that I was not close enough to the bridge. Yeah, an aggressive rumble on the C string works really well, setting up for the fantastic feel of the fast runs. What is dur? Can you play in dur? Do you have your captions on? I have the closed captions on, and it is interpreting. It must be interpreting that as dur. I don't have a way to separate out my talking from the cello in the closed captions, so they just get everything, and so it gets noises. It makes word noises that approximate cello noises, and then you get things like dur. But I think it's important to have captions on, even in their imperfect state. At some point, I would like to figure out a better solution for that. But like this mic picks up a lot of the cello. Like here, check this out. This is without this mic. So yeah, so I can't separate them out. So the captions aren't clean, but at least I've got them. At least they're there. Let's see, Lau says, and yeah, contact point closer to the bridge when playing higher up on the fingerboard. You can think of the contact point as being proportional to the length of the string. As you shorten the string, the same proportional length along the string ends up being closer to the bridge. Yes. I have a tendency to do this when I'm nervous or when I'm working on a part where, like, you can tell when the cartoon equivalent of steam is coming out my ears because I'm thinking really hard. That is when I do this, like a T-Rex. And that is not conducive to playing close to the bridge, or playing, or having good tone. So yes, that is a thing I'm working on. But at least I've identified the problem. Let me try and play this whole thing. I'm going to watch my bow. Lau says, yeah, I know that feeling. For me, it's my left elbow making its way into my ribs. Like this? Oh, yeah, because then if you try and shift up, everything's in the way. Yeah, I have, yeah, that's not a problem I have. I have this problem. That's much nicer tone there. Keep going to my second finger there, which is probably not what I want. Is that a tritone? May I ask, what is the original? Because I forgot the name. Oh. There you go. Gabriel Faure, Elegie. Sometimes you'll see it spelled with a Y, and sometimes you'll see it spelled with an IE. This particular sheet music that I have is... Oh, you know what? I made a thing, too. I made a thing. Yeah, with an IE is the French word, and elegy with a Y is English. So if you do want to follow along with the sheet music, I need to make a button. But you can, there's a link in the chat to a public domain copy. It's the same one that I'm playing off of. And then also, oh, that's so annoying. You'll have to copy and paste that link for Wikipedia because Twitch doesn't play nice with Wikipedia URLs a lot of the time. So I'll have to like do some escape characters or something and update that command. But you can just copy and paste it for now. If you are interested in reading more about this piece, it is very famous piece. Well, that's getting better. Let's do the hard part. So we changed some fingerings here from what I was doing last week. I'm going to play it one note per bow so you can hear what it's supposed to sound like, and slowly. Cool. I really like that a lot. Okay, this is what I need to practice. So there's a replacement finger here. So Lau, if you want... oh, your C peg slipped. That's a bummer. I had at my last recital, one of the other students, like one of the young students, um, I would guess, if I had to guess how old they were, I would say like 10, maybe, um, maybe 12. They it was really cold that day, um, and so their cello had been just sitting on its side safely, and they went to pick it up, and it must have been just enough of a nudge, and the cello must have been, the cold weather must have, and the dry air must have shrunk the wood just enough that the C string just went out completely, like as they were picking up their cello to go perform, and I felt so bad for them. But then they had to borrow, the student that was playing after them. I'm guessing it was probably a 3/4 size cello. So they had to borrow the cello from the student that was playing after them. And so they were playing on an unfamiliar cello, and then they weren't used to playing without tapes, because that's the student that had the broken string, had not all the tapes on, like the little tapes that tell you where your fingers go, that beginners do. They had like a couple tapes still, and then the other student didn't have any tapes. So they're playing, and they've just broken their string, and they have to go, and they're kind of like, and the recitals are pretty relaxed, which is really nice. But like this poor kid had to like go and perform after that, and they did pretty good. They played 2 movements. I can't remember what exactly they played, but they played 2 movements, and the first movement, like they played really well, and the second movement was a little bit more bumpy, but there was loud cheering when they finished. Let's see. So Lau says A, D, G, G, and octave below are not the open strings I was expecting. Well, you know, if you just tune down your A string to a G, you could play some of the Helen Mountfort pieces. If you want to buy music, sheet music on Bandcamp, you can do that. You can do that. I highly recommend it. Helen Mountfort is Australian and has this super cool. I've been kind of dabbling. I don't remember, Lau, if you've seen me work on those yet at all. I was started hacking away at them before I started working on the Elegie, and then this is a lot to work on, so I haven't gone back to it. But there's three movement songs. I don't know. It's modern, so I don't know what the right word is. John, what's up? Cello friends. We got more cello friends in the house. I'm going to practice while you practice and watch you for inspiration. Awesome. Go get that practice on, my friend. Go get that practice on, and everybody go follow John. He is a musician and a DJ, and just a nice person to hang out with. John has a performance coming up in May, and so we're going to practice together. We're going to practice together, my friend. Okay, so here. So in each Lau, in case and any other cellists in the house that want to follow along, we're in measure 35. 35? Yeah, 35. And the fingering that I have for this first fast passage, the first note of each set of 3, I have 1, 1, 2, open, 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 2, 1, 4. So it like mirrors itself for the most part. What's up, Donnie? 4 on that last note, yeah. Lau says, my pinky is too short for a lot of fingerings other cellists use. Ah. We work with what we got, right? And then I shift back up, replacement finger for the next passage. Oh, last week, a change is from here. That's a change. I was changing strings, and I don't want to do that. Donnie says my hand is tiny too. We work with what we got. So this next passage is a little bit different. So there's no shift there. Whereas in the other passes there is a shift. We're going to the C, to the G string. Lau says I've often considered getting a 7/8 or a short scale length 4/4, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it's, you have to buy another cello, but people like adults play 7/8 size cello. I think Unwoman's cello, her acoustic cello is a 7/8. Also, what was the first exercise? Oh, the first exercise I was playing was the Feuillard, daily exercises for cello. That was what I was doing when all of the friends came in with the raids. Let's see here. So here. So if I just practice the shifts, so the first note of each set. Donnie says, yeah, that's how I practiced this piece when I first learned it. Very useful. Oh, cool. So you're a cellist. You are a cellist. Welcome in. We like cello friends. I really like the interval. At least like I like the sounds in this passage. I like these intervals. It's like dark and I don't know. That's coming along. Let's do the whole thing. See, Lau says, I think one of my challenges with this passage was keeping the triplets even and distinct and not fudging through them. I worked the shifts a lot and maybe underestimated the fact that the triplets would need work to get up to tempo too. Yeah. I want to be careful about working up everything to tempo at this point. Like I don't want to practice. I don't want to do messy practice because then the notes will be messy forever, basically. See, Donnie says, at one point I was just learning all the Faure pieces, just so emotional music. Yeah, I'm interested in looking more into his catalog, for sure. I really like this piece. Like, I know it's like famous and stuff, but I do really like it. And it's, we were talking about this at my lesson. It's got, I'm working on opening up my vibrato. So the beginning is really good for that. But then there's this stuff in the middle is hard. And it kind of serves the purpose, kind of serves the same purpose as an etude, like with some really technical stuff. And then it goes, and then it just kind of goes back to the beginning melody. So let's see here. If I do this whole thing. So I can actually play the whole thing through without making mistakes. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Donnie says this part doesn't have to be extremely clean. Yeah, I mean it's gonna get muddy, but I would like to try and get it as clean as I can. Just like I'm not gonna obsess over it, but I would like to try and get it clean. And then if it's messy when I perform it, if it's a little messy when I perform it, okay. I'll deal with that. Yeah, it's very fast. Yeah. See, Lau says it's a really good place for just exercising and showing off your full range as a cellist for an easier piece, like without getting into the concerto rep. Yeah, like I'm not that interested in getting into like the really hard classical cello pieces. Like I want to continue to broaden my skill set. And I like classical music, and I think it's I really believe that there are other ways to learn. There are other ways to learn, and there are other genres out there that I am interested in. But also, I feel like sort of centering in classical is really good from a technical perspective to make sure that I'm covering all of my bases and really doing a good job of being precise with my technique, I guess. There are many level difficulties in concertos. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I am sure. Some are very close to elegy in difficulty. Yeah. I think what I'm going to ask my teacher when we're done with this piece for where it's just kind of in my repertoire, And it's something that, well, I don't know that it'll have to be practiced to like bust it out every once in a while, but I'm going to tell my teacher, give me all of the like overtly anti-fascist composers and music. Like, let's just like, there's got to be a lot of that out there. So like, just like give that to me. Let's do that. That's my next, my next exploration. Okay. I think we've worked on this enough for today. I think we have. Feeling pretty good about the work that I've done on this one. So let's switch gears. My favorite cello pieces are from Russian composers. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. Like Shostakovich has some cool stuff, and I don't really know. I am definitely interested in learning some of the Russian composers because, again, like I think some of that in particular is also kind of protest music. Like, so I'm interested in protest music these days for reasons you can probably understand. Prokofiev, yeah. Lau says, I'm mostly in the classical and free improv realm, but I kind of made the same decision at some point. I want to keep growing as a cellist technically, but repertoire-wise, I'm a lot more interested in exploring pieces that are artistically and emotionally striking, like Faure's shorter pieces, than necessarily virtuosic, as well as exploring lesser-known East Asian and diaspora composers, queer composers, etc. Yeah, there's an account, I can't remember if it's on Blue Sky or Mastodon in the Fediverse that I think it's on Blue Sky. They might also have a Mastodon account, I'm not sure, but that it's some project that is I think I posted in my Discord maybe actually. Let me take a look here. Yeah, Institute for Composer Diversity. It's just composerdiversity.com. So I found that on Blue Sky, and it's a basically it's got a really nice database of composers, and you can like filter and whatever, and just like find composers that aren't kind of the big names, if you will, and so that's pretty neat. Okay, so what we're gonna do now. Let's see here. I think that'll get you what you need. All right, so let's switch to some video game music. Donnie says, I also enjoy playing film music on cello. Yeah. There's some good stuff out there. I gotta remember how to navigate this app. See, Lau says, and speaking of composers, Ukrainian composer Mykola Lysenko is a really interesting one too, mostly known for works that have become key patriotic nationalistic Ukrainian works, but he has a good depth of repertoire beyond those. I picked up some treatise also in an elegaic piece for cello and piano a few years ago. Cool. Yeah, we'll see what my teacher has to say once we start picking the next piece. I do want to go back to the Helen Mountfort stuff because it's cool, but it's kind of a pain in the butt. Even with the nice carbon fiber cello and the geared pegs, it's kind of a pain in the butt to retune all the time. It is kind of a pain because it's in. So the three pieces that I was working on are tuned. The A and the C strings are tuned down to G. So that's a thing. Oh, there we go. There we go. There's my bookmarks. Let's do. Let's start with some Hollow Knight. So I've been trying. So I'm going to VGM Con, Video Game Music Con convention, in next month, and I've been working on just learning some of the video game repertoire on cello, because cello is a very shifty instrument and it's harder to fake your way through things like sight reading stuff. So like I wanted to get down at least a few of like the hits, if you will, so that where I would have some fingerings written in already. So if I was going to play a melody line, that I would number one, I would know the melody. Number two, that I would have some idea of where to put my fingers, because it's like one of the Final Fantasy ones. I don't know if I think it was maybe Aerith's song, or it's just like, if you're not prepared, you would end up on an open A string a lot, and that's not great. So yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Dirtmouth from Hollow Knight. If there are any Hollow Knight fans in the house. What did I do here? Why did I mark a 2 there? Because it's nicer if it's a replacement finger. That's why I did that. Let's see here. 90. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, boom, 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 boom. Is that right? What did I write here? So I've like wrote some fingerings in, and then I haven't played this in like a month, and now I'm like, what passed me? What did you do? I also have to figure out the bowing, because the bowing doesn't work out. Sound nice with separate bows, but it works out better if it's separate bows. That's right. Really don't like the bowing so far. Why did I put a 3 there? That's why. That is why. So I'm gonna stay. Do you want to go down to the C string there, or to the G string there? So it's. Okay, I need the metronome. So I think what I want to do here, turn that off, is I don't know why I would do that. I don't know why I wouldn't go to 1 there. I have a 2 there. And then we've got DC L coda, but where DC means go to the beginning, right? Go to the beginning and then 2 coda. Oh, that's why I drew a big red line there. Yes. So then we play the whole thing again, and then here. The only thing that's different is we got a scale. And I have... What's up, Argyle? Yoo-hoo. Have you studied a course at uni? So I did not study music when I was in college, but I am taking lessons with a teacher, and have been since June of 2020. So I've got this formal training, but not this piece. I'm just hacking away at on my own. You want to study mechatronics? That's cool. Yeah, I studied classics, so the ancient Mediterranean, and I studied psychology. There's no fourth finger here. There's no C there. I mean, there is on my cello, but I'm not supposed to play that. Yeah, so it's I have a Bachelor of Arts. That's what I have. Lau says, it occurs to me that this might be a good piece to improvise on. Should take a poke at arranging it. Yeah. So what I'm playing off of, I think I put the lead. Let me put this here. That's the version that I'm playing off of. So if you want a lead sheet to like get started, that's what I'm working on. It's nice. I actually have played Hollow Knight. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm like real close to the end. I'm at a spot I'm at a spot in the game where I can do 3 really difficult bosses and that require a lot of like practice to get the moves down and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, I don't really wanna. Oh, I don't wanna. See, Argyle says making robots is creative. Absolutely. Engineering is absolutely creative. Absolutely creative. Do you have a particular type of engineering that you're interested in? My dad's a structural engineer originally, and he got more engineering degrees later. But he started as a structural engineer in school. Oh, mechatronics. That's right. You did. I don't actually know what that is. So I'm gonna have to look that up after stream. But it sounds cool. It sounds cool. Are you gonna build the Are you gonna build like the when the robots take over, like Skynet? Are you gonna build those? Also interested in material science and engineering. Cool. Yeah, that's all really cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Lau says, oh, right, I should reference that site. One of the challenges for me was definitely finding good transcriptions to cross-reference my ear against. Yeah, and like, it's I mean, and it's like there's no bowings in there and stuff. It's just the chords and the melody line, which is like what a lead sheet is, and the tempo. But I find it frustrating as a bowed string player that there's no bowings in there, that I have to make them up on my own. But that's, it's good to have a starting point for sure. Definitely good to have a starting point. I mean, it's good to do it all yourself too for like learning, but sometimes you don't need to start from the beginning on everything. It's good to build on other people's work that they've provided freely. Hal will take over the world. So I'm a big Terminator fan. I got Sarah Connor. You can see where is my Terminator head? Where is it? Oh, you can see it right there. And then I got Sarah Connor from Terminator Dark Fate watching over me when I practice. Argyle says, I applied for a structural engineering job in the past. My brother completed an electrical engineering computer science degree. Yeah, electrical engineering combined with computer science is definitely a nice combo. It's a common combo because he works as a computer programmer. Like Apu that graduated from. Yeah. Okay. I don't know why this scale is so hard. See, Lau says electrical engineering, comp engineering CS is basically my professional specialization. Yeah. it from the beginning. Let's try it from the beginning. Let's do it with the metronome. That's not 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, is that a, well, that's a 1. Ah. Oh. Ah, C natural. Oh, there's a bass clef. There's a bass clef, Lau. Let's see. We got stuff going on here. Stuff going on in chat while I was staring at my music. Doc, what's up? If you're into scarecrow engineering, you can be outstanding in your field. Haha. Let's see. Umfet says, here in Hungary, we have a 100-member orchestra. They're so good. Nice. Yes, there's a bass clef option. Yes. I've been reading off the treble clef version for when I switched to guitar, but But yes, there is a bass clef version. This is page 600, if that helps. It's probably the same page on the treble clef version. Translating between the staffs, between the clefs in my head is just not a thing. It is just not a thing that I am ready to be doing. Let's see. Alpha says, high-level programming jobs are in dire straits. If you do low-level programming closer to the silicon, you might still have some demand. I feel like senior engineers were in very high demand not that long ago, but things change quickly, and I haven't necessarily paid attention because I'm not an engineer. I am not an engineer, so I have not paid attention to that part of the job market. Okay. I just need to practice this scale run a little bit more. That's the part that's giving me trouble. Oh, so I downloaded the PDF because then I could write on it. So I have the PDF and I loaded it up into Fourscore. So you can either read it online or you can download the PDF. But the problem is they keep adding stuff all the time. And so I don't know how to deal with that because I have all these fingerings written in and I'm going to have to like transfer. Like if I download a new PDF, then all my fingerings are not going to be in the new PDF, and that's going to be a thing. So I haven't addressed that issue yet. Let's see, Lau says, I feel like I'd want to just keep each piece as a separate PDF to avoid that. Yeah, that is clever. That is clever. In this case, I have the whole thing so that I can so at VGM Con, there's like an official jam space, and they'll actually project the the treble clef lead sheet on a screen in the jam space. But I'm planning on bringing my iPad with me, so I'll have the bass clef version that I can look at. But also I'll have it right there. I'm going to bring a music stand too. And I might also bring my mic stand with the iPad holder. I'm not sure. When you're local, you can bring a bunch more crap with you, but then I still have to haul it around, so that's also a thing. Okay. Let's see what else we got. I have a bunch of stuff bookmarked. I haven't started working on... I bookmarked Dragon Roost Island. I haven't started working on that yet. I have to remember how this goes. We got 2 flats, so that means we got B flat and E flat. I'm gonna make some awful noises on my A string for a little while I get the tune. Actually, maybe I should Maybe I should jump in somewhere else. Okay. I'm going to do this one offline. We're going to do that one offline. Oh my god, I bookmarked another one that has 6 sharps. One thing that they do with the VG lead sheets is if it's got like a lot of sharps or flats, sometimes they'll transpose it like into a nice key. So there might be a different version of this, but it starts with 6 sharps and then it changes to 3 sharps, and that's so if there's a transposed version, it still might be brutal somewhere. Let's work on Balam Garden. So this is page from Final Fantasy VIII. This is page 490, if you're following along with the PDF. 5 a.m. and the birds are singing already, en fait. Okay, this is 85. And it's in 4, and there's only 1 flat. Oh, wait, what's going on? So it starts with 1, the way that this is transcribed, it starts with 1 flat, and then it goes to 2 sharps, and then it goes to 5 sharps, and I think maybe if I was going to do this, I would maybe have more accidentals in here. See, Lau says, I was briefly in the new studio orchestra section of a jazz big band ensemble, and on the first day I had to sight read a piece full of jazz rhythms in, I think, D flat major, 5 flats. It was hell. That does not sound fun. Last year at VGM Con, there was an informal jam session like after the convention was officially over, and I had swapped out instruments. I brought my cello with me, this cello, with me for that, and I played something in 5 flats, like some jazzy thing that I didn't know in 5 flats, and I like played along, and I think it wasn't terrible. So I was pretty pleased with myself. But it wouldn't have been my first choice. Wouldn't have been my first choice. So here, let's see how this sounds, and then we'll adjust. We'll figure out some fingers. So I haven't done any work on this, but I do know how this one sounds. So. So we definitely want to start that on the C string. And that'll be 4. Oops, it's an octave higher. I'd shift there. Two. Okay, so now that's the part that after that we go into a lot of sharps. So what's happening in chat? Let's catch up there, and then I'm going to write in some more fingers in this section. Let's see. Lau says, I'd say software engineering jobs proper involving architecture, at scale design, reliability, certification, etc. roles aren't doing as horribly either, especially since industries other than the software, cloud, etc. tech sector have demand for them too, compared to the very oversaturated software developer market. Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunities in tech in industries that aren't technology industries, because every company is a technology company these days, effectively. From what I've from what people are telling me, but again, I'm not like super plugged in on the software engineering. Like in IT in particular too, like if you go outside of the traditional software engineering sort of software companies and into other industries, that's where there's more things, but it's weird out there. It's super weird out there. Super weird. So see, Onfet says, I had a friend, he constructed a string instrument. I was playing on that. It was so nice. It was a drum string instrument. Oh, cool. Yeah, Onfet is a drummer. Was it like a dulcimer kind of thing? Where you like hit the strings? I mean, it may not have been actually been a dulcimer, but like that kind of idea. I mean, that's what a piano is, really. The little mallets hit the little strings. Let's see. So this passage. So I would go to first position here. avoid that open D. That's the problem. That is the problem. You could do that. You could. It's nice and rich on the G string. And you have time at 85. Yeah. And then the next part here. See, okay, so this string instrument, you were using just your fingers, very psychedelic. So there's a vegetable like poppy but big, and he was using the shield of that vegetable to create. Oh, interesting. That's really cool. That is very cool. Okay, so here, so if we go back to the beginning of this part. One, one, two, two. And let's see if this works. Let's see if I can get through this. So we got... Oh no, wrong string. What's up, Uber Cruiser? Still here, yeah. Hope the ramen was good. Maybe I don't like that shift. But I don't want to go up again. It was delicious. You were talking about tenor clef when I left. Yeah. That, was I doing my Feuillard? Going back and forth between bass clef and tenor clef? No. Wait, there's a sharp there. So that actually, in fact, it's A sharp. So that is right. That is right. So this is Balam Garden from Final Fantasy VIII. It's page, it's 490 in the PDF. B-A-L-A-M-B. Ba, lamb. Ba, lamb. Ba, lambs go. Ba. My Latin teacher in high school, one of the best teachers I've had for anything. She used to, so in Latin, the imperfect tense, you know, the what wasing and wering, ing words have a BA in them a lot of the time. And so if you screwed up and had it be, if you translated something instead of with the ing with like an ed, so like singing. Oh wait, that's a bad example because that's not regular in English. But like, if you translated something like, oh, now I'm like, oh, composing versus composed. If you screwed that up, she would go, "Bah, you're in the sheep pen," and it was really funny and very endearing. Very endearing. Let's see here. I'm glad I'm looking at these because, like, if I was gonna just try and play the melody line, like just cold on cello in like a group situation, I would probably not have good times. But like this one, maybe I'll at some point get the looper out. But this is a nice one to add like some atmosphere. It's very atmospheric. You love just being thrown into the wolves. I'm getting better. Like, sight reading has always been difficult for me. Like, and by sight reading, I mean going in cold and like, here's a sheet of music and now go play. So that's always been a bit difficult for me. I mean, I know it's a skill that needs to be practiced, but oh, you mean you love the sheep pen, not the getting thrown into the wolves. Yeah, bah, you're in the sheep pen. She was a good teacher. It was unfortunate that the school, she was a rabble rouser too. So I think that the school, I think she stepped on somebody's toes in the HR department, being the outspoken lady that she was, and they shoved her out of the school district, which was really unfortunate. Very unfortunate. See, Argyle says, I might go salsa dancing with a friend this evening. That sounds fun. That sounds very fun. Seems like a lovely way to meet women, I think. Just don't be creepy. I mean, you don't seem like you're creepy from your chat messages, but, you know. Just saying, I'm looking out for you, my friend. Looking out for you. Let's see. Lau says, I've done the Thrown to the Wolves thing. Not often, thankfully. I'm not a professional gigging musician, but no, I do not love it. Yes. Okay, let's try this. Let's take it from the top now that I have more thingies written in. Wait. That's right, so it's E. TMK says it sounds like an odd reason. through that whole passage again. It's kind of, I like this. I like this passage, but I also want to make it cleaner. Every time I hear you, you sound better. Thank you, Uber Cruiser. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. I need to write that down. There we go. Let's work on that a little bit. See, Omfet says, music is a tool. I remember the story of a gloomy Sunday. A Hungarian songwriter wrote that song, and like millions of people. Oh no, translated into 50 languages. It's a very romantic song. Huh. That is a big shift. Maybe a 2 would be better. No. See, Lao says that phrase is one of those ones that can sound really wonderful with a tasteful slide on the shift and good dynamics. Let's see if we can do a tasteful shift and good dynamics. I'm having a hard time not making that zing a little bit. It's getting there. Let's see. Uber Cruiser says, yeah, it's awesome. Your shifts are sounding great. They sound way more confident. Thanks. I've been doing the past month. I've been adding more of the Feuillard shifting exercises in basically, here's you're probably familiar, but again, this is the music if anybody wants to look at it. But there's it's broken into a bunch of parts, but the very first part has the trill exercises and the finger twisters, but then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are all shifting exercises. And I was just doing 1, 2, and 8, and I've added 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 into my practice, and I've been probably doing too much of that. But I feel like it's really I want to just spend more time on those to get the feel of those exercises and kind of get those down a little bit before I start to back off on those and just do them a little bit here and there, a little bit every day. But I'm spending a lot of time on them right now. but I do feel like they're really helping. And I'm doing them with a drone too. And there's like it's like so many different combinations of fingers and shifting from one place to another, and then extensions versus regular. It's like my teacher, I asked him, so he has me doing 1 through 8 and then 36, which is at the double stop stuff, and the double stops are killing me, but like in a good way, because I asked him, hey, can we work on double stops, because I think that would be good for some of the other genres I'm interested in as like a foundational skill. So those are kicking my butt too, but yeah, I appreciate the feedback. It's hard to tell sometimes, when you're like in it every day and you're like just doing the same thing over and over, and sometimes you don't feel like you're getting any better, and sometimes you do. See, Lau says, shifting exercises are incredibly valuable as long as you're not tiring yourself out on them. I'd say time well spent. Yeah, that's the tricky thing, is figuring out how to balance my time, because I like get into like, oh, I want to do all of the things. And then sometimes like yesterday, I was kind of half-assed with practice yesterday, but I did like 50 minutes of just Feuillard. And then I was like, that's good enough. I got other things to do. But it was still time well spent. It was just like, I need to figure out the right balance for as I continue to go forward. See, Uber Cruiser says, yeah, you never hear your own progress. Fight with Martini Monsters about that all the time. She doesn't think she's getting better. I bet she's getting a lot better. Because she's very detailed, like just from when so everybody, like, go follow Martini Monsters, first of all. She's a fellow cellist, and we started playing around the same time, so I feel like a very kindred spirit with her. She does a lot of fitness and like weightlifting type streams, but they're very, very relaxed, and just like everybody just like kind of hanging out, talking about fitness and life and whatever. So it's a good place. It's a good place to hang out. I like it. But yeah, it's really hard to see your own progress. And then, like, see, so Uber Cruiser says, but with her teacher, she's playing this duet thing, and she asked if I could play the other part, and it was actually fun playing with her. Yeah. I don't know when that transition happened, but we crossed it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where like you're where you've improved to the point, like, because so for those of you that don't know Uber Cruiser, so he's very he's a very experienced cellist, and so like to get to a point where you can, as a newer cellist or newer musician, and you finally like are able to like play with somebody else that's a lot better than you, that's like not your teacher, is cool. It's cool, and it's kind of scary, but also, to have that sort of have it just be like, oh, we're just two musicians playing together is really cool, even if you're not at the same level. So yeah. Oh, hi, I have a degree in cello performance, played professionally for a few years and then stopped and reinvented my life, and now I'm a computer nerd. Yes, I didn't want to speak for you, Uber Cruiser, but yes, very experienced cellist is definitely accurate. Okay. You know what, friends? I think we're just gonna call it. I think I had wanted to play. I had wanted to practice some guitar chords with some of the, like I did last week, but I feel like I'm tired, and I think if I get my guitar out, I might overextend myself in this part of my body, and you really don't want to do that. So let's wrap things up. See, but to add to what we were just talking about, Lau says it's incredibly freeing when you get to a point where you can enjoy your art and not be worrying too much about your technique or skill level. And Uber Cruiser says, but yeah, just sometime recently I felt like I was actually making music with her, which is just an awesome feeling. That's so cool. That is very cool. Cello duet stream when? Lau says, getting involved in free improv stuff and contemporary music was incredibly freeing for me in that regard too, compared to playing classical repertoire all the time. Yeah, I find like I really enjoy classical music, but also looking back at my violin training. So I played violin consistently from age 8 to 18 in school and in an orchestra, and I only had 1 year of individual lessons, but it was all small group and small and large group. But I was all right, considering that sort of training. But I felt like it kind of got my brain in like a box, where it was hard when I was taking guitar lessons then from age 12 to 18. It was kind of hard to wrap my brain about the whole improvisation sort of thing. So now as an adult, and like I am practicing some improv on my own, usually off camera, it's getting a little bit easier, but it's still a complete, like, so first of all, improvisation is a skill in and of itself. You don't just like all of a sudden like become a fantastic improviser. Some people definitely, I think, have a natural affinity for that and like have the ear for it, but you still it's a skill that you still have to practice, and it's a thing that I'm working on. So ask her. I mean, I'm in Martini Monster's Discord. I can be like, oh, Uber Cruiser outed you that you two have been playing a duet together. Yeah. See, Argyle says, I read musicians learn a lot while sleeping. Well, I mean, you, like anything else, you need to give your brain good recovery. I was reading something about, it was like kind of a counter to that 10,000 hours to be an expert or whatever in your craft sort of research, and there was a confounding variable in that the string players that they had looked at in that study, there was a difference in skill between the string players that consistently got more sleep than the other string players, which was interesting. Correlation does not imply causation, but there's something to be said for letting your brain and your body recover and process. So, yeah. Taking breaks helps musicians be better musicians and learn far better. Yeah, I find that I need, like, I don't practice 7 days a week. I practice 6 days a week, sometimes 5, but mostly pretty consistently 6 days a week, unless like it's been a really busy week or something. And I do find that when I come back after my day off, I do feel like I'm playing better most of the time. I don't feel like I'm like, oh no, I didn't practice yesterday, how do I cello? I usually feel stronger when, on the next day. So, yeah. Let's see here. Argyle says, I can't play cello or violin, but I play guitar, keyboard, drums, and sing and compose, and I want to take up bass guitar soon too. Yeah, you'll probably have no problem with bass guitar. I don't think I will take up saxophone because it's too much. I don't like the saxophone. Like I don't like how it sounds. The lower range saxophones are a little bit more my speed, but like alto and soprano, ooh. Just don't, my ears don't like that. Ears do not like that. Uber Cruiser says, I definitely solve a lot of problems at work and in life while I'm not thinking about them. Yep. Sometimes your brain's just got to chew on it. Argyle says 6 days a week may be too much. I mean, it's a lot. I 6 days a week, I do definitely sacrifice other things to make sure that I get my practice in. Lau says, I do feel we do classically trained musicians a disservice in not teaching them Baroque improvisation. Yes. Yes. And composing their own cadenza in concerti, as well as siloing classical musicians in classical music. But from the recent grads and students I've known in the past 7 years, I don't think that's really a problem. They're mostly very open to branching out and diversifying their professional activities outside of strictly classical. Yeah, when I learned about figured bass for the first time, like I haven't played figure bass, but like when I learned that that was a thing that people did way back in the day, like it was so different than like how I had learned classical, because it was like classical you interpret the music on the page, and that is its own skill, right? Like there's nothing wrong with that, and it takes a skill, a particular skill set to interpret the music on the page that somebody else wrote for an audience. So I'm not diminishing that at all, but there's these different skills, and I wish that I had some improv in my classical training when I was a kid, but we just didn't do that, and I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. Like until I started playing guitar. I mean, it just didn't occur to me as like a 10-year-old or a 12-year-old, like, oh, you can improvise. Like, what is that? Like, no, I play the music on the page. That's what we do. Like, no, there's other ways to play. So, anyway, just in general, teaching more improvisation and composition. It's so freeing no matter the musical background. Yeah. Uber Cruiser says, we definitely went into all sorts of improv in music school, including improv movement. That was wild. Oh, that's cool. He says, I had to take, I think, 3 years of Del Crow's Eurythmics in conservatory, and there were a lot of movement-based improv there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I think it's good to be exposed to a lot of things, like musically. Well, and just like in life, I think it's good to experience the world and see new places and learn new things. So anyway, cool. So Uber Cruiser says, I hated every minute of it, but looking back, I see the value. Yeah, cool. All right, well, this is an awesome chat, everybody. Let's say goodbye to our friends on YouTube, and then we're going to find somebody to raid. Oh, and I didn't fix the raid call. Gosh darn it.